The Jitsu Master and the Squid.
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 Thug Jitsu Master and Squid
Starts now.
starts now.
And we're going straight into it with one of my boys, this guy I trained with the first time I went out to Long Island. And he's now fighting for the PFL. He's going to open his season next week on the 23rd, as we record this. But his name is Chris Wade, and he's the Long Island Killer. That's what I'm going to start calling you, the Long Island Killer.
I like that. I haven't had a nickname yet. I like that.
There you go. Well, that's your nickname now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that on ESPN also.
And they say someone's got to give you a nickname. You can't give yourself a nickname.
Exactly. And that's what I've said the whole time. They're like, yo, you got to make a nickname. What's your nickname? I was like, listen, man, I'm not giving myself a nickname. I just feel weird doing that. If you want to do it for me,
Were they
I'm
Long
down
Island
with
Killer?
that one.
The Long Island Killer.
Yeah, there's a lot of murders on Long Island. There's like
I
some
know.
famous murders on Long Island.
Amityville.
I'm from Long Island. I grew up in Brentwood and went to Mineola High School, but there's definitely some
yeah?
story. Yeah. Yep.
I grew up in Islip, so we were right there.
I went to St. Mary's in East Islip.
Oh, I just
Uh-huh.
drove past their home.
That's
Nice.
that was my spot.
Small world.
Y'all should get a room. All this bro love going on.
We'll see.
I feel jealous.
He bumped you right out, Eves. You're like, I've been to Long Island. I trained with this guy.
I was like, I'm from there. That's
Yeah.
my spot. That's my dude. Oh, you visited. You were there for
Trump
Sandy
card.
though, right?
I was there for Sandy.
I wasn't there for Sandy.
Yeah.
So
Real Long Island right here,
Yeah.
baby.
Bombed it over the hurricane.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a rough time.
So, one of Long Island's best wrestlers in quite a while. You went to Nassau Community College. You have a big presence on Long Island in the mixed martial arts community. How does it feel that the PFL has pretty much set up the entire season right in your backyard?
It's amazing to go from a point where MMA was illegal professionally in New York just a couple of years ago, and my home was basically Atlantic City coming up in New Jersey, which I didn't mind, but it wasn't home. Now all of a sudden I feel like every year I get to compete in my backyard. So it's almost like someone's making up, a higher power is making up for all the time that we weren't able to compete here at home. And I couldn't be more thankful.
It's about time, because most of the New York fighters have always, like you said, have to go to New Jersey, have to go to Boston, or take fights on the West Coast or in Las Vegas. So there's something to be said about having your friends and family there, just having support, rather than a lot of these guys have to go fight in other people's towns and kind of play the heel, which is fun, but it's nice to see your parents in the crowd or your loved ones in the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, they've always done a great job with me, and I know with some of the other guys are following us down to Atlantic City at least for those fights when we were on the come up. But it gets hard when you're out in the West Coast, when you're in Vegas, just financially. A lot of them can't follow you even if they want to. Yep. Like your most loyal fans or your loved ones. And you wind up, like you said, you're alone out there. You have to build a new fan base. You have to kind of build yourself up in that organization and regain a following. And here at home, it's just, I think you were there last year, Yves. You saw the energy. I was blown away by it. The first time I competed there was the UFC card, and that was one thing because there was a lot of us on it. But the last one was just me, and when I came walking out, I didn't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. And the energy was electric. Now with Dre and I on the same card, I think it's and with what I did last year on the card, I think it's just going to be even more energy in the place.
Yeah, you seem to be fueled by that support coming out in your second fight. Your first fight, you didn't look like the Chris Wade I know, but that second fight in Long Island at home, it was like, yeah, I'm not gonna look like I did in my last fight at home in my own town with everybody here to support me. And the energy you came out with, you literally came flying out of the corner.
Literally flying out. Yeah. I mean,
has that kick changed your life in a way? Because like you're in like every highlight for PFL and ESPN. You're on ESPN. That kick is one of the most iconic moments of season 1. Like, how does that feel?
It feels awesome to do something that I knew I was capable of doing, and to use aggression that I knew I was capable of using, and to have it be kind of received so well. And even though I didn't like flush land that kick, because he kind of at the last second he just gave it a little bit of a slip.
Yeah.
It was like this to just flushing him. If I would have flushed him, I don't know if they would have even been able to show it on TV. But
I was thinking the same thing right now.
Yeah, like that would have been one of those like we had to cut away moments. But it's almost better for production that it just barely missed.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's been awesome to just be promoted and to have my abilities be showcased.
Yeah, we got to show the crowd just a still photo of the end of that kick, because like it was like a thing on a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, it was. It was and then all hell ensued right after that. Then a mad scramble for the neck, and then fight was over before you couldn't even blink.
He tried to sit up after I knocked him to his ass, basically, and I started punching him. He tried sitting up and like driving a double, and he drove his head like right into like prime
guillotine land. Huh?
That's just natural for me, you know. So I just went right to it, and then he started rolling like an alligator. I was just following him, like you said. Then you're just scrambling at that point. But it was a great, awesome moment. I'll never forget it as long as I live, and I want to build on that, though. You know, I have these things in my arsenal, and I'm capable of things that I think certain other people can't do. And like I said to Eves, we talked in the past, and it was like after that Schultz fight, first one, it was like I had to make a decision that I had to like kill off the old Chris Wade, you know, or I just had to walk away from the sport because I couldn't fight like that anymore. I couldn't fight not to lose anymore. And I had to take it personally, like whoever was in there and agreed to, you know, be locked in a cage with me. I had to treat it like a street fight. I've been in a lot of those, and I'm nasty. Like it, and now all of a sudden, like I turned it too much into a sport.
Yeah.
It became too like, you know, touch gloves and feel it out and
playing
like,
to win,
lovey-dovey stuff,
Yeah.
and like that's gone, man. I killed that dude off. That dude's been burned too many times, and he's not made for this sport. So there's a new cat in there.
So you
the Long Island Killer.
The Long Island Killer.
Told you.
Yeah.
So you brought up a name I was going to bring up, Natan Schule. What does that name mean to you? When I say Natan Schule, what emotions and feelings come out of you?
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a language barrier there, but you know when you just don't like somebody, you just don't. Something about his face, something about who he is, something about, I don't know, I just don't like him. I don't like his people around him. I'm sure they don't like me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like real, natural, bad blood.
It's good.
And I think it's good. It's good for the PFL. You don't really get that with everybody, but it just, he ran his mouth after the first fight.
Yeah.
Even though I was pretty humble after he beat me solid. Like my head was in a bad place after what went on with the UFC. I slept on him and he put it on me, and I gave him credit for that. And all he did was, you know, try to shit on me like I was a pushover. So in the second fight, it kind of sucked that I had to fight another man before I got my hands on him. That takes a little bit of the explosiveness out of what I do. But I mean, since October in Cali, not a day goes by that I don't think about wanting to literally hit him hundreds of times in the face again. So
You made it very well known to the internet, the world, anyone that was willing to see what Chris Wade was saying that night, and for probably a few days after, how you felt about the decision.
Yeah, everybody does, though. It's not just me. If you look at his thing, like, I'm not the only one. I'm not just, talking out of my ass. Oh, he's a sore loser. When I get beat, I'm one of the first people to say, like, you got me, man. I did not have it. And when in my other losses, even the first fight with him, did I ever say, like, nah, that guy didn't get me.
Yep.
I won that fight. Not one. I got beat in all my other fights that I lost. I admit that. But when you hit someone that many times compared to how many times they hit you, and when you almost finish them with multiple different submissions, you wobble them with spinning back fists, and his response is to walk forward like Rocky Balboa and just get his head snapped back and to lay and pray on a couple takedowns. To me, like, that's not a win. That's him trying to survive a tournament to get to that $1 million. And people know that. The fans are not stupid. And that's why he gets so much hate if the PFL even throws a picture up of him tomorrow with the belt over his shoulder, I guarantee you 8 out of 10 of the posts are people shitting on him. And he has the money in his pocket, so I guess he gets the last laugh, but he deserves the criticism because, he can't help what the judges do, but I think people know in a fight, who won that fight.
Yep.
He's pretty much won the title the same way against Rashid Magomedov, coming forward, just pressure. But what do you think his reception is going? Because all of the lightweights are going to fight on this card. All the semifinalists, every semifinalist is back from last year. So that's you, him, Rashid Magomedov, and I'm missing a name. I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Islam
Mamedov.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So you guys are all back, and he's going to be announced in Long Island as the champion.
He's going to get torched, and I have nothing to do with it. It's just going to be a natural. I guarantee you won't be able to hear, because just like that night, they booed him out of the arena that night. And I'm not from Cali. I don't have people there. I had like 10 people there, maybe tops, and they booed him out of that arena.
Yeah, really loud.
Yeah, that wasn't just like it was a good fight and everybody cheered. That was like, yo, what just went down? That was awful. And here at home, maybe not everyone knows exactly what went down that's going to be at this show, but people are going to talk in the crowd. By the time his name gets announced, I guarantee you probably won't be able to hear it in the place. He's going to get trashed.
What type of crowd are you bringing with you? Do you know about numbers? How many do you expect to be in the crowd?
I don't have an exact number, but
quite a bit, right?
There's going to be a lot of people there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting with some colleagues from the PFL in the bar, Long Island, at the restaurant eating. Going over some notes, and some guy rolled up on us and was like, "Hey, you guys are with the PFL?" Yeah, a friend of mine. I'm a friend of Chris Wade's dad. So everybody there's already excited about the fights. You guys coming back. Everybody there is really excited about you and Dre fighting at home. What does this mean to you? I mean, I know we talked about it before, but what are you going to show us in your debut season 2019? What is Chris Wade going to show us?
You're gonna see somebody who's legitimately possessed. It's not looking past anybody. I have respect that people are capable, and we're in a fight. You know how it goes, Yves. There's 4-ounce gloves on. People are swinging, but I'm gonna show that I'm on another level. But I'm not just on another level. I'm possessed now on another level. What happened to me last year and the money. Listen, I don't know what would have happened in the finals. People are like, "Oh, you got the $1 million stolen from you." Rashid's a tough man too. That would have been a great scrap. Me and him, 5 rounds. Who knows what would have happened? But I got at least $100,000 taken from me, and how I don't know how any of you would feel about that, but that's life-changing money to me too, $100,000. So like, I am on just an absolute warpath this season. There's going to be a lot of leaving my feet. There's going to be a lot of stuff sent with bad intentions to just send a message that I'm coming, because I am.
You're returning as a semifinalist, and you're fighting one of the new guys. So all the semifinalists from last year are back, but we have 8 new contenders for the PFL, and you're introducing one of them to the cage. Now, you've been in this cage four different occasions, twice on one night, and you're in your hometown. Like, you're fighting this man in your hometown. He's another Northeasterner, but what do you know about Nate Andrews, and what do you think of him?
Well, I actually almost fought Nate Andrews once before. Before I was in the UFC, they came calling from the CES. They didn't want him to come to the Ring of Combat where I was. They wanted me to go up to Rhode Island into his backyard to fight him. I don't know if it was the money offer or like I just wasn't interested. I knew I was close to a bigger promotion, and it didn't interest me. So I have I don't know if he knows that or not, but I have a past with him. I know he calls himself like the Snake. He likes to do this when he's in the cage. So I don't know. Maybe I'll prep something to counter that. But he's got a good record. I think it's a big fish in a small pond scenario. I think seeing the people that he beat and what their records are compared to the guys I've been in the cage with. I've been in the cage with Islam Makhachev. I've been in the cage with Khabibov. I've been in the cage with Schultz. I've been in the cage with some of the best guys in the world. I spar Iaquinta. I spar Harrison. I spar Gillespie. I spar Bermudez. Like, he's up there. I don't know exactly where, but I can't assume that he can match what I just threw out in one sentence. That, on top of the fact that he's in my backyard and I'm possessed right now, it just doesn't seem like a good formula for success.
Wow, killer.
That's what he sounds like.
Sounds like a killer.
I like it. Chris, I cannot wait to see you step in the cage on Thursday night.
ESPN, how's it feel that, I know NBC Sports is super cool, but ESPN is probably a bit cooler than NBC Sports.
NBC Sports is cool, but growing up watching ESPN and actually getting to say that I'm going to be fighting on ESPN, that's amazing. I mean, I've been thinking about that my whole life, from the time I'm playing in the backyard, shooting hoops, or playing wiffle ball, whatever the case, wrestling, whatever the case may be. So that's just another dream come true. It's like with the PFL, I just keep getting to check off things that are on my bucket list. It's just amazing. So I couldn't be happier. Man,
Chris, thank you very much. I love when you got when guys that I've spent some time with on the mats with come in. I know you're on weight week, so I know you're probably pretty hungry right now. We'll let you go and put some stuff in your belly. I know. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, we'll both be there. He'll obviously be calling the fights. I'll be chilling, watching fights.
I look forward to seeing both you guys. Yep. We'll hang out after.
We'll definitely hang out after. You get yourself a W, and when you calm down and you return to Chris Wade and no longer the Long Island Killer, come hang out and do a post fight wrap up with us.
Please do.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Sounds
All
like
right,
a
guys.
plan.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Take care, brother.
Have a good night.